Okay, so I saw this report of a 28-year-old woman who moved in with her father, who was a veteran, army veteran or navy, and he was disabled, and she moved in to take care of him. Now, her father lived in a, let's call it a senior residence village. 155 homes, um, with a homeowners association, of course, like many estates these days in the USA, and everyone 55 years or older. Okay. Now, obviously, when her father was still alive and she was taking care of him, there was no problem. The father passed away and bequeathed or left her the house. She said, she accepted, and she lives there now. The homeowners association started speaking to her, notifying her, hey, you can't actually be living here. You have to be 55, or there has to be at least one person living here who's 55 years or older. They had a meeting with the residents. One person, I think, said something about, I didn't move here to be living with people who are under 55. I found that a little bit funny, sounded a bit staged. Some others voiced their opinions. Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, I would expect to hear something like, I don't think she should live here because her age and her behavior makes it inappropriate because she's going to be hosting parties or something. I don't know. Something along those lines. But it's just like,
There
I
was
didn't move here.
concerns.
Yeah, a concern about something. And then other people were like, look, we didn't even notice that she's living here. So we don't care. Let her live here. Right? But the home HOA, the board had a vote 5-0, which makes it unanimous. She has to go. Now they've engaged a lawyer, which is going to be pricey and is going to require all 155 of the residents or the homes to contribute €1,000, $1,000 for the legal costs, basically to get her kicked out. Which includes herself. So she basically has to contribute $1,000 so that they can try and
But
get her out.
why, like, how could that even be? Like, why would she even agree to? Why would she be giving money for the lawyer to get her out there?
Yeah, well, I
It kind
mean
of makes no
that's a
sense.
thing, but obviously they're just requiring it from everyone who has a home there. Um, whether they can make her do that is quite
I mean,
contentious, I
it's
suppose.
ridiculous. Let's be honest.
It is, and yeah, my whole thing is, I understand there's a
Okay, wait,
reason.
but before you continue on that, now
Yeah,
this,
okay,
and
fine.
then this is what I responded to that. I said, since when you started off the conversation, you said it's a senior home estate specifically, and you even gave the stipulations of 55 and above.
Yeah,
So someone who's 28 years old knows this before they get there. So to me, it didn't seem strange that they would be like, "Hey, we this is the rules here. Why are you still like living here or trying to live here?" And one of my other things were, why doesn't she sell the place? Because why have these problems? And not just that, you'll be able to find a buyer quickly if you actually go to the home owners association and say, hey, I actually want to sell this place. I know that you have your stipulations for the age of people to stay here. Once I get the money, I'll go get my own place somewhere else. There's a compromise here that works for everybody. But to me, what it seemed like, you have this live-in daughter who I question a lot about what's going on with her, and maybe these people see it as well. Um, that was just my
but listen,
concern when it
I
came
think
to
we
it.
have to be. I think we have to consider some factors in here. First of all, um, for example, my sister, she bought a house in Florida in a nice area, Apollo Beach. When she bought it, she paid $150,000 for it. Now it's worth $450,000. My sister's not my age. She's 12 years older, so she's like 50 now. My point is, isn't this a form of like, let me not use the word discrimination so strongly, but like you had the advantage because housing was affordable when you were 40. A. B. Things were cheaper when you were saving up to buy your house. To say to someone who's 28 now, look, we know that if you were to work, chances of you actually being able to afford your own house are close to impossible in the current economy in America. Unless, of course, you become a millionaire. But it's unfair to say, hey, man, just become a millionaire and then you can afford a house. So chances are you're not going to be able to afford to buy a house. Now we're telling you, drop this asset, which has been given to you, and then go and try and find a house somewhere else. I don't know. Is it that
No,
simple?
but think about it.
Is
Think
it that
about this.
simple, though?
First of all, I have two things to say. First of all, she can rent the property to an older
That's an
person.
option. That's an option.
So like that's a given, right? That's like now I'm getting an income. So now that asset is working for me and I'm out of their hair, right? I just have to go check up on things now and then. Because they even specifically told her someone of that age needs to be staying there. So it's like there's your compromise already.
I was
You're
going to
going to be
say
earning
one,
money
yeah.
now. But then the second part is if, I mean, there's a couple of old age settlements around this area as well.
Yeah.
It's a given that a young dude can't go there and expect to buy or rent a place there. Everybody knows, oh no, this is an elderly village. So why would it change all of a sudden? Like if I had like do you understand what I'm saying? This is an old age. It's literally not even just a case of, oh no, we prefer older people here. It's like, no, we have rules here. So you're actually breaking the rules.
Well, I mean, look, I don't,
So to
okay,
me, it seems like this is why I'm questioning the 28-year-old chick who can't seem to understand that. It's
no,
like a
but I
case
don't,
of like almost like what do you call it now?
willful ignorance.
Entitlement, right? Like
I think
no,
it's
no,
easy.
this is mine now. Like I can live here, but
Um,
it's
I,
what's changed.
what I would say is we have to assume, and this is just an economics principle, that people will act um rationally, right? So even though that's not always the case, but before we go on the tangent of like, oh, she's entitled, she just doesn't understand the rules, we have to consider the fact that maybe she has thought of those plans. Maybe she has thought, maybe can I find someone to rent? And everyone who's 55 and plus is like, nah, I don't want to rent, I want to buy. Or she can't find someone who wants to buy for a good price. Or she's thought, okay, I could sell it for this much. Where could I buy a house for comparable value? I'm not able to, right? Um, but I don't
I
know.
would
We don't
like to
know.
believe that that's the case,
Yeah,
but at the point where the alert goes off, where it's kind of the first red flag, is when they're getting lawyers involved, because that means that this has gone to that place.
but you
Conversation and
know,
discussion is now, for some reason, that's been put away.
but dude, you've never seen these HOA clips before, have you? Because
No, I have,
the
and
HOA,
they're very ridiculous, and this is why I wanted to say I
yeah,
would have agreed with you, because as soon as you started mentioning HOA, I was like, oh, these guys,
yeah,
like
yeah,
they like a little gang, right?
dude, they're the
But then when
same.
you started saying the things, all the information, I was like, okay, wait, maybe I can't say that because this one seems a little bit more obvious than all those others that I saw.
Yeah, you're right. Um, but you
Because the
remember
other
for
ones I've seen are ridiculous,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Like, it's
mm.
almost like gets down to like criminality and stuff,
Yeah, like
things go
where
missing and you're like,
yeah, I mean, I'll never forget the one time when okay, my parents weren't home, so I had one of my gatherings with my friends, right? You weren't
I
there
was
that
there, dude. I
at
remember it
another
was
one, but
so
not
strange.
at another one, but not at that one, where we're all 18, we're having some beers, talking, laughing, and then suddenly there's some dude
No,
just
that's the one I'm
stand
talking about. He
s-
walks into the house.
yeah, and we're like, what the heck? And he's like, he's acting like he's just allowed to be there. And we're like, obviously, we're still 18, so we're still not ourselves. I mean, if he had tried that today, I would have said, yes, he put, you are trespassing. Get the F out of here immediately. But he just like showed up like he had a right to like monitor the situation. But
And he
everyone
was
is over
he was a tall
18.
guy as well. Like he
Yeah,
took up the
tall,
whole roof.
big guy, and obviously sent there as a goon by one of the HOAs, or the chairperson of the HOA. Not like we were playing loud music or anything. We were just a bunch of 18-year-old youth. For those of you who are not familiar, like in South Africa, 18 years old, you can drink, smoke, drive a car. You're fully
You're
legal.
legal at 18.
Yeah, and so then why would you feel like you need to just come in? And I can't even remember what happened. He did he say we should keep it down, or he didn't say anything, did he?
No, he was. I actually, now that I'm thinking a little bit deeper into it, there was a little bit of arguing happening, but it didn't take place in the house. It kind of like shifted out to that yard area there, where they had like all the barbecue spots outside. Um, and I remember first we were shocked, and then I think I remember you kind of going back and forth with him, and then him kind of realizing he needs to get out of there type of thing. I know it went on a bit longer than like just him being in the door and we're like, what is this guy doing? Almost like you're some teacher or something who can come here and tell us like not to do what we're doing. I don't know. I remember that look, it was
It was
extremely
entitlement.
dangerous for him, dude.
Mm,
Like, I wasn't in that mode back then,
yeah,
but I remember I was at I had, and I'll try not to incriminate myself here, but um, I was at like a similar type of complex estate, and we were listening to music. We were having a good time. We were actually being loud, but it was like a Friday, 10 o'clock, and a guy, one of the neighbors, he came there, and he was like banging on the door and whatever. This is actually so rough. He's like banging on the door, like telling us, like, "Hey, you keep it down, right?" White guy, and obviously we're a bunch of colored people, so you're gonna tell us now, type of
exactly.
thing. And obviously, one of the younger colored dudes, still young, still in that aggressive mode of, oh, I'm gonna go fight now. He doesn't tell us. I'm reserved and stuff. And then I remember he goes outside, and I'm like, "Ah, we don't need to be doing this. Like, we don't need to be fighting people. It's dangerous, especially when we've been drinking. Anything can happen." But I remember something happens. I don't know. I think the guy he throws something, or like he does something, and the next thing, like the whole house rushes out, and that guy runs back. Him and his wife even came out. uh, and they like rush into the house, and they lock the doors, and we all surrounding the house.
What, Mikey? You
And
guys
and even the young guy, he's like trying to pry open the window to get in through there.
to get into their
Uh,
house.
yeah,
Yes,
to
you
go
guys are
like
unbeskoft, bruh. You guys are nuts.
no, but like, look, we saw them cowering in the kitchen, and so and
Yo!
so I called it off. I was like, yo, let's just leave this. They're scared. They're not gonna make any more trouble.